Cool.
Let's do it. Steve, can we please have a one-word downhill snowy themed prompt?
It's not December yet.
Well, what about Rosebud? It's a classic one for this movie.
Classic.
Spoiling right off the bat. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, spoiling this 80-year-old movie that came out in 1941.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's going to be spoilers on this episode. I already missed my veggies. Speaking of rosebuds, we had to clean out our garden units. Now I don't get to go out and get fresh herbs for dinner and stuff. I want my veggies back.
Unit, do you mean the bottom level of an apartment building, or
our little homemade gardens? What are they called? Planter boxes. There we go.
Oh, nice. Hold on one second. Hey, welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your hosts Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Hi, CJ.
This is the show where we talk over TV shows and movies as chosen by our guests. And this week we watched Citizen Kane.
Wow.
Whoa.
We're doing it.
Absolutely. And of course, you know what that means. We got to bring him on right away. We got returning guest, the Toolman himself. Steve, welcome back.
Hi, Steve.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom, indeed.
Vroom.
Good to be back.
Absolutely. As we all know.
For our listeners, yes. Canonically, Steve has only ever seen the Fast and Furious franchise and the movie Citizen Kane.
Correct.
So we've got the right person with us.
And yeah, this will be probably very different than my previous episodes because, the public regards Citizen Kane as a very good movie.
Yeah.
As opposed to the public calling the Fast and Furious franchise, very average movies. I would never say that. But no. I think we can have a very good, serious conversation about cinema and film, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how this is going to go. Absolutely.
Yeah. When I think serious conversation, I think of Steve. So I'm really ready for this.
Yes.
Yeah. You know me. I don't like to joke. In this context, it'd be hard to joke. I'm just going to go ahead and say that because this is a
serious movie.
A masterpiece of cinema, and I feel like we should, give it some respect and talk about it in a respectful light.
And before we do that, Steve, it's getting kind of colder, kind of almost downhill snowy. What you driving these days?
Great question, Ken.
Yeah. We had our first snow on Halloween where I live. Lightly. Nothing stuck. But the snow tires come out right when the first snow comes, so people have been heading to the shop and getting those on. Mm-hmm. So what am I driving right now? I've been back and forth between my Dodge Charger and a sled.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Depending on how snowy it gets.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes the big city, a lot of sharp declines in the street, downhills. Mm-hmm. Don't really need an engine.
Quickest way to traverse.
Exactly.
The Charger doesn't really scream out like traction in my mind. I don't know why that is.
It doesn't, but it's a 10-second car.
That's fair. Yeah.
Is that true with the snow tires on? Is that the snow chains?
Do you have the chains on the tires? That would help.
Yeah, but it just depends on how much NOS you have. A little bit more NOS is required.
I see.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
You can make it work. Yeah.
Okay. So just remember you accelerate out of the turn. So I imagine that's when you're hitting the NOS.
Clear. Yeah. Obviously, I feel like that doesn't need to be said.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Some listeners out there might not know.
We all know cars. Yeah. Everyone who listens to this knows cars too.
Do, but.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, why has the Fast and Furious franchise not taken it to a snowy location yet? I guess they have.
Yeah.
The submarine, right?
Yes.
They've done it
in Antarctica.
They've done it. And
they've done it all.
They've done that twice now. In the most recent movie, Letty and Charlize are both in that snowy area for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's where she pops up.
I don't remember the snow chains on the tires during those scenes.
That's why they were sliding everywhere.
Yeah, that's just movie magic, probably, too.
Okay.
Yeah, amateurs. Not putting the chains on their tires.
They probably were supposed to CGI those in post, and then probably did budget constraints or something. That's what usually happens in these Hollywood blockbusters.
Yeah.
I know. They're not totally accurate, because if they were and they wanted to go as fast as possible, they would just get on a sled.
Yeah.
So
that's what I
would get some dogs.
Think.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the next Fast movie should really go underwater, right? They've done all the types of terrain. They've gone to space. Now they got to go to like the center of the earth or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that or time travel. I think those are like the lowest.
Yeah, time
fruit.
travel is, that's probably.
Yeah.
We already get a glimpse of that every now and then of like Dom's kind of death visions before we think he's going to drown, goes back in time. And I guess
they
all
do
the
that all the
retconning.
time. Yeah, with the retconning, exactly. Yeah. People coming back to life, it's all over the place.
But eventually we'll have two Torettos standing next to each other, and it'll be a young Dom and an old Dom. I think we'll get to that like kind of multiverse time travel, sharing the same reality.
I want to
hope
see
so.
the comic book version, like the Spider-Verse. They go
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
Yes.
It's comic book.
Or a bunch of different Dom variants that all look, they're all still bald, but they all look kind of different.
I want to see young Tokyo Drift guy and then older Tokyo Drift guy.
That's like an oxymoron, I think. Young Tokyo Drift guy.
Exactly.
Little Bow Wow and old Bow Wow. Is that what you mean?
Big Bow Wow.
Big Bow Wow.
There is that animated show. They could bring them in. I think it's on Netflix or something like that. It's
Is
more
that
of
still
like a
going
kid
on?
show. I'm not sure. They definitely had multiple seasons of it.
Well, keep listening, folks, because I'm sure we'll run out of things to talk about with Steve. I think we still have one more thing after this from the Fest franchise, technically, that we can talk about.
Yeah,
So,
otherwise I'm tapped out. I really have nothing else to talk about. This is the end of my run, I think.
it might be.
Yeah,
And I saved the most serious one for the end.
Absolutely.
true.
So we're going to talk about Citizen Kane and more, but we're just going to dive right in.
Yeah, so normally we go to break and I put a bit of the movie trailer in, but this trailer it jumped out at me, especially for being in 1941. I turned it on and I was like, I got to share this. So for the listeners, you don't need to watch the trailer. All that's being shown is a boom mic. The trailer starts and it's all black and you hear Orson Welles say, "Give me some lights," and they turn the lights on and then he says, "Give me a mic," and you see like a crane with a mic swing over in front of him. That's all you're seeing during this trailer. So here's what he says.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Orson Welles. I'm speaking for the Mercury Theater, and what follows is supposed to advertise our first motion picture. Citizen Kane is the title, and we hope it can correctly be called a coming attraction. It's certainly coming to this theater, and I think our Mercury actors make it an attraction. I'd like you to meet them. Speaking of attractions, well, the chorus girls are certainly an attraction, but frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we're just showing you the chorus girls for purposes of ballyhoo. It's pretty nice ballyhoo.
Ballyhoo.
Yo, how horny is Orson Welles?
Yes, what the hell?
What the heck?
Yeah.
It's certainly coming, and then he just talks about the girls for the rest of the time.
What the heck?
Yeah, he just breaks the fourth wall and he's like, "Hey, audience, it's me, the guy in the movie that made it."
I'm real horny. Come check out this movie.
Come is the operative word there.
The rest of the trailer is him. It's like them behind the scenes. Like you see the sets and stuff, and it's him just introducing like every actor or actress in the movie. He just goes on to be like, "And now let me introduce you to this guy. Say hi, this guy." And he just kind of like smiles and then directly like looks down the lens of the camera. "And then how about her? This will be a name you'll recognize soon enough. Okay, on to this person." And it's just like a minute or two of that. It's like,
That's
what?
unbelievable.
What is this?
This is how all trailers should be. Look, trailers today are
love it.
so spoilery.
Honestly,
This is
yeah.
the best way to do it. Just introduce people to actors or actresses and
Yeah.
don't talk about the movie whatsoever. That's the way I'd
With the same kind of like transatlantic accent and
Yeah.
everything too.
Yes.
I think that adds a lot to the vibe.
please. Yes.
Hello there. It's me, the director of the movie.
It's 1941. Can't you tell?
It's almost like the movie phone guy. I feel like that similar vibes.
Yeah.
Well, that is Orson Welles.
Oh, he was movie phone guy?
He was the original movie phone guy.
That tracks.
Is that a bit?
Yeah.
That's a bit. All right, that's the last bit of this episode.
That is the last bit.
Yeah, we
It's
gotta
the
get
only
serious.
Listen, I didn't come on here to laugh, and I didn't come on here to make other people laugh. So let's get serious and talk about this movie.
And you're all
So-
out of bubblegum.
Okay, well, then let's treat this as we're coming back. Steve, we are going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who's not yet seen Citizen Kane, which, like, come on. It's supposed to be the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, everyone's seen it.
Yeah.
Describe it for someone who's not yet seen it, what it's all about. Ready, set, go.
Okay, I'm gonna get right into it. So it starts off, we cut to the outside of this prison, and then this guy walks out, and you're like, who is it? It's freaking George Clooney. He's playing Danny Ocean, right? Like, he's got a bone to pick with this guy who runs this casino. So he's like, I got to get this whole squad of like 11 total people to rob the Bellagio. And then hilarity ensues. Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's time. Yeah, hilarity ensues. Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that, but that's not Citizen Kane. I don't think.
It's not?
I think you watched Ocean's 11.
Wait, what?
I don't know. That sounded.
What's up?
Was Orson Welles in the movie that you watched?
He's the guy that owns the casino that they're stealing the money from, right?
No, that's not Orson Welles.
I thought Citizen
did
Kane.
You watch the wrong movie too?
No, I watched Citizen Kane. Rosebud,
I've watched this movie. Okay, so let's be real here. Everyone's talking. I thought the character of Citizen Kane was just George Clooney, like a different name that he didn't tell anyone. I'm assuming
that was never said or shown at all in the movie.
Well,
he's a criminal. He's got aliases.
Yeah, and then Rosebud's a metaphor too, right?
Yeah.
Did they say Rosebud in the movie that you watched? How do you even know that term?
Well, Citizen Kane. Everyone knows that term.
I read some reviews of the movie, and people like to talk in metaphors, so I'm not about to correct them and be like, that's not the plot of this. They're trying to rob 3 casinos.
Yeah, Steve's not a actually internet guy.
Yeah, so I'm just like nodding my head when I'm reading all these Rosebud this, Sled this, Citizen this, Kane that. But like, no one's talking about Brad Pitt eating in every scene, George Clooney crewing up, trying to rob a casino.
So hold on.
Crewing up. I'm not familiar with that verb.
Yeah. It's like Fast 5, except no cars.
Steve, is this your way of trying to transition to a different franchise? Is this what's happening right now?
I seriously thought I was watching Citizen Kane. Are you saying that's not Citizen Kane?
So, I guess you always said that the only other movie you've seen besides the Fast and Furious franchise was Citizen Kane, but I now feel like I need to ask, have you also seen Citizens 12 and Citizen 13?
It's 11.
Listen.
Well, no, if Citizen Kane is 11, then the sequels would be something else.
Oh, right? In addition to, okay.
Yes.
I truly don't know what you're talking about. This is the first time hearing of this. And I knew a lot of stuff didn't make sense, but that's cinema, right? People can interpret it however they want. But
cinema, baby. Capital C cinema.
I feel embarrassed. I feel like this is a big time goof on my part.
Citizen Kane 2, Ocean's 12.
Oh, Ocean's 12, yeah. Have you seen... Okay, so hold on. I need more clarity. CJ, what movie did you watch?
The Rosebud one. With all the Canes. You've got Patrick. He's on the ice.
Yeah.
Skating his heart out, scoring goals.
What? I think you watched just the Blackhawks hockey game. I think that's what...
Well, that's clearly not right.
Yeah,
See,
there's red
like
with roses.
Yeah, I guess it would be cold and snowy, and there'd be things sliding on cold surfaces.
Yeah, I mean, earlier when you were talking about the sled and the snow and stuff, I thought that was speaking in metaphors too, because they robbed the casino. I'm pretty sure in the summer.
That's correct. Yeah.
What are we supposed to do now?
I genuinely do not know.
Oh my God, this must be an Overtalking first. Have you ever had a guest come up on here and not know what the hell he was?
Not a guest.
Or she was talking about?
Not a guest. Maybe one host.
Only one host. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surely only one host has ever done that.
I've probably told every single person I've ever met in my life that I've watched Citizen Kane more than once, and I thought it was the best piece of cinema in the history of cinema. And right now, for the first time, I'm finding out that I've been watching the wrong movie.
Wrong movie or movies? Was this multiple?
So yeah,
are there others?
Okay, so you've only seen Ocean's 11.
I thought I was watching Citizen Kane.
Orson Welles loves George Clooney. He puts him in all his stuff.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
I mean, now that I think about it, I guess it makes sense it was a different movie, because a lot of it didn't make sense for what people were writing on those reviews. Like, no one says Rosebud.
No one says Rosebud.
Yeah.
But
Orson Welles is not in it.
I don't know who Orson Welles is.
Apparently.
He's the champagne magnate. His commercials where he's selling champagne, we've all seen that one, right?
No, he sells tequila.
No, what?
Casa Amigos? That's George Clooney.
That's George Clooney, though, yeah.
Oh, God.
Different magnates.
This is
I got
tough.
a bunch of them on my fridge.
A bunch of magnates?
Can we take a second to watch Orson Welles' wine commercial?
Is this a real thing?
This is a real thing.
Okay. Yes, I would like to.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we have to find something else to talk about here.
Well, we got to show Steve who Orson Welles is.
Yeah.
If we're even going to attempt to talk about...
Don't even show me a
Citizen
picture
Kane.
of George Clooney, because I know what he looks like, and I know that's not him.
All right, hopefully this doesn't freak out with sharing sound.
102, take one. With overlap, action please.
Jesus Christ.
Action Orson, please.
You just do anything?
No, sorry, cut. Yeah, rolling. 102, take two.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
102, take three. Action please.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So
Cut.
Paul Masson.
Cut. This is not working.
the
Holy
French.
cow.
This guy, why is he moaning so much? Why is he so horny all the time?
There's a comedian, James Adomian, I think, does it. They like recreate that commercial, but it's James Adomian playing Orson Welles. That I think it's on like Funny or Die or YouTube. I highly recommend looking that up too.
I mean, that's honestly the best endorsement. If you're so drunk off of this champagne that you're trying to sell, it must be good.
Starts every
Action.
take.
That's crazy.
Holy
So-
cow.
Yeah.
So that guy in that clip, that's Citizen Kane.
That's the titular Citizen Kane.
That was Citizen Kane and what looked like Chris Tucker from the Fox News. He looked like the other guy.
Tucker Carlson?
Tucker Carlson.
Chris
that's what I'm trying
Tucker
to say.
from Russia?
Chris Tucker.
The Rush Hour franchise?
That's wow. How did that get in my head?
Listen,
Have
we're
you seen
all
the Rush Hour
goofing today.
franchise?
We're all goofing today. I have not. All I've
it's
seen
supposed to
is,
be
I guess,
serious.
Ocean's 11 and the Fast and Furious franchise. Now, I mean, I gotta call my parents or something. I gotta figure out where these wires got crossed. Where this went wrong.
Like
I had
a good hard look in the
I had a
mirror.
DVD case that said Citizen Kane.
Where'd you
And
get
on
it
the
from?
back, they had a bunch of like bonus features, and they're like, "Look at all these casinos in Las Vegas." And I was like, "Okay." Was it set in Las Vegas at all?
Great question. Ken?
No.
Oh my!
CJ, did you watch this movie or not?
Rosebud, sleds, canes. There's
my
like a million
God.
canes in this movie.
Am I the only one who sit through this 2-hour movie? Oh my God.
You've got Kane, you've got Daddy Kane, you've got Kane the Third, younger Kane.
Nope.
One of them is going for
none
a
of those.
citizenship test, right? Trying to become a U.S. citizen, probably.
Yeah. And then at the end, he's a citizen. He
Yeah.
passes the test.
That's it.
And they pull off the most elaborate heist, and they steal all the money from the Bellagio.
That's not it.
I'll prove it. My favorite part of the movie was at the very end. We see our protagonist, and then the voiceover comes on and says, "He truly was a Citizen Kane."
No.
And then the credits roll.
No. Wrong.
No. How it normally ends is George Clooney and the 10 friends are standing in front of the Bellagio fountains.
One of them snacking on something, eating.
Yeah. That's Brad Pitt. That's Brad Pitt.
That's Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And
He's
which
one of
one's
the
Orson
Kanes.
Welles?
Are you
He's
guys
one
like?
of the Kings.
Is this like punked or something? Are you guys pranking me right now? You're
That's
gonna be
how
like,
I
"Oh, no,
feel.
you're
That's
right."
how I feel.
No, I saw.
That's how I
There's-
feel.
You've got Walter Parks Thatcher, but I was wondering where his wife Margaret was the entire time. Why wasn't she in this?
Oh man,
That's a character.
was that
the
your Orson
movie.
Welles impression, Ken? Oh.
French excellence.
That French. That's been playing on a loop in my mind for like 10 years. See that commercial.
That's great. I have never seen that before.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw that.
I think there's even a longer version, but yeah, it's a lot of takes.
I wonder if they ever made a final take.
Yeah, probably never got one.
Yeah.
No.
He was so drunk.
Yeah.
So drunk.
They should have just put that, as the outtakes as the commercial. Like, look how effective it is. It'll get you loaded.
Yeah. All right,
I don't know
boys,
where to go from here.
Yeah, what do we
honestly, I don't know. I feel like I should do a quick explanation of what Citizen Kane is for both of you, maybe?
I don't need one.
I mean, I feel like this is a good time for you to be like, we got you. It's a prank. That'd be nice if someone said it.
You know, I would love to pretend that, but I also only have trivia for Citizen Kane, so I don't know what to do.
I mean, I'm still down to try it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, look, before we get to that, I feel like both of you, especially Steve, would benefit from something like Magic Mind. Have you heard of this? It's really good.
No, I
CJ,
haven't.
you've been drinking some of it.
Yes, I have. We've talked before. I'm trying to cut down on my caffeine intake, coffee specifically. I love me my caffeine and coffee. But this is a way to sort of supplement my caffeine intake with coffee. You don't have to go cold turkey. I know, Ken, you don't drink a ton of coffee, so this might be a one-to-one substitute for you. But for me, I still need it. But it helps because it's got a little matcha, still has some caffeine, but it's extended release, so it takes longer to release. You don't get the super anxious jitters like you would from chugging a lot of coffee like I do.
Yeah, it's a good alternative or in addition to of coffee in the morning. And yeah, I am more sensitive to caffeine, so I don't drink a lot of coffee. So what I've been doing with Magic Mind is just drinking a little shot in the morning instead of my coffee so that I'm not too jittery, and it helps me be more relaxed and still stay focused throughout the day. It's also got nootropics. CJ?
And adaptogens, all sorts of natural ingredients to help reduce stress, strengthen your immune system, support higher energy levels, all of that great stuff that we love.
Absolutely. And hopefully, we'll find out soon, but it should help with memory. So we'll see if that comes in handy during trivia coming up. Might be a little difficult in this specific situation, but we'll see. But yeah, our listeners can take advantage of a special code, Overtalking20, if you go to magicmind.com/overtalking. You'll get 56% off your subscription for the next 10 days, or after that, 20% off for both one-time purchases and subscriptions. That's magicmind.com/overtalking, and use code Overtalking20 at checkout.
We've got 100% money-back guarantee, no questions asked.
Yeah, that's the best. Like, it tastes great, but if for whatever reason you don't like it, 100% money-back guarantee. What do you got to lose?
I love the taste.
Me too. So check out Magic Mind. Go to magicmind.com/overtalking and use code Overtalking20.
Now, on to trivia.
This really genuinely should be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm as alert as ever because of Magic Mind, but I think Steve might struggle with this.
I might have to try that.
Not having seen the movie.
I might have to try that.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't make this big of a goof and embarrass myself.
It would help. Yeah.
Sure as hell can't hurt, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It really, anything would be an improvement.
It's time for...
Hey, did you do that?
That's right. For new listeners, this is the trivia portion of our show where we pit our guests and CJ head-to-head to see who knows the most about what we watched. But it's still unclear whether or not CJ actually watched this movie, and Steve 100% did not. So we will see how this goes.
Wait. Were you going to do like a quick summary of the movie? Or we're just going to go in cold.
I feel like I should do a quick summary of the movie.
Maybe for Steve's benefit. I don't
Maybe we'll do the summary after the trivia questions.
I'm just going to do it now. I'm just going to get it out of the way. All right. Citizen Kane, Charles Foster Kane is...
That's his first name?
Charles Foster.
It's not Citizen?
I don't know why he's called Citizen Kane.
Oh, my God. All right, sorry, continue.
He's for reasons that I totally didn't follow, was removed from his home as a young child where he was happy and sledding with a sled. And then for some reason brought into a super rich guy's family and then became rich and then bought a newspaper and then ran for governor, but then was disgraced and lost everything And then on his deathbed, he said Rosebud. And the whole movie's trying to figure out why he says Rosebud. And spoiler alert, it's the name of his sled from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Because after all of that, he still misses home or something. This is the greatest movie of all time, according to a lot of people. But
did he pass
also,
the citizenship test?
He was already a citizen. I don't know.
Oh, man.
He was a citizen for the whole movie. Maybe that's it.
So he didn't become the governor?
Well, maybe that's one of the questions. So we'll see. He was running for governorship, yes.
But then he didn't get it. And then next thing he's on his deathbed and just yelling Rosebud. And people are like, I wonder why he's saying this. Why are we calling him citizen, too?
More or less. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I'm ready for trivia.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Let's do it.
CJ, I need to know, did you watch that movie?
Rosebud, the sled, Kane's. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. All right. First question.
Yeah, Rosebud was a sled. We all knew that.
Yeah. It's not a spoiler. Everyone knows that.
This one's not, this one you might be able to get if you know anything about Orson Welles, so we'll see, which it doesn't seem like you do. First question.
Magnate.
No. One line by Kane in this movie was, "Don't believe everything you hear on the radio." Why might that be a sly reference, or what might that be a sly reference to? First person to just shout out the answer gets the point. Dear God.
His disgraced
campaign. This is going to work. No.
Which Kane?
He was in a bunch of propaganda over the radio.
Only Kane.
Oh, there's multiple Kanes.
There's not.
There is.
Charles Kane, Foster Kane. You just said there was Charles Foster Kane.
Charles Foster Kane is his first, middle, and last name.
Oh, God. Well,
there's Mama Kane and Papa Kane at the beginning of the movie, and I guess he marries some people who take his last name throughout the movie. But
that's
there's younger Kane. There's Kane the Third. Kane's father. There's a lot of Kanes.
They all used Rosebud.
Mary Kane, Emily Kane, Susan Kane.
So basically, the question was, why does he say "Don't trust the radio"?
Don't believe everything you hear on the radio. And I guess as a hint, Orson Welles is the one saying it more than really Kane.
Because he's a big fake news guy.
Yeah, he was probably like the Rush Limbaugh of his era.
Oh, God. Do you know anything else that Orson Welles has done with his
champagne
his life,
magnet?
Other than the champagne magnet?
And he was horny.
All right. No one gets a point. Orson Welles did that radio broadcast of War of the Worlds where everyone was freaking out and they thought it was real. And anyway, this is his.
I thought that was Tom Cruise.
It is. I mean, yeah.
It's not wrong.
Sorry, Citizen Cruise.
It's not wrong. Thank you, Citizen Cruise.
Okay, I think we'll probably get the next question.
Yeah.
That's warm up.
You have a 50% chance of getting this next question.
I like those odds.
True or false, Orson Welles is the first person to be nominated for both Best Actor and Best Director for the same film at the Oscars because of this movie.
That's got to be true.
Yeah.
That's true. Good job. All right.
Yes. See?
He was also nominated for Best Screenplay as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah. The best movie of all time.
Sure. Because you know so much about this movie.
Yeah.
All right. 25% chance of getting this next question right. This is multiple choice. Towards the beginning of filming, Orson Welles was unwell. He was suffering from what kind of poisoning? Was it A,
alcohol?
Lead?
Did you say Orson Welles?
Orson Welles was well. No, other way. He was suffering from some type of poisoning at the beginning of making this movie. Was it A, lead poisoning, B, caffeine poisoning, C, alcohol poisoning, or D, cyanide poisoning?
Alcohol, for sure.
How would it not be alcohol poisoning?
Yeah.
We just watched a video of him just being drunk off his ass, moaning.
That is incorrect.
No. Was it lead?
See, do you want to take a second guess too?
Yeah, lead.
Nope, also incorrect.
It's
Well,
not.
it wouldn't be cyanide. He would
Can't
die,
be.
right?
Yeah. He'd be dead, right?
That's correct. It is also not cyanide,
Okay.
so it was caffeine poisoning. He really should have switched to Magic Mind.
To Magic
because
Mind. Yeah.
He was drinking 20 to 30 cups of coffee a day when he started making this movie.
Wow.
And he literally was like, unwell because that's way too much caffeine. He had caffeine poisoning.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know it was possible to drink that much caffeine
And I'm sure
in
you
one
could drink
day.
it, but
Yeah, I
mean,
would
like,
think
cannot, like,
would just
die.
beat out of your chest.
Yeah.
All right, so still tied 1-1.
Yeah. And I mean, that guy was a perfect picture of a bill of health, too. So he was probably doing everything he could.
Well, I mean, that kind of leads to my next question. How old was Orson Welles when he made Citizen Kane?
He just always seems like perpetually 60 to 70 in my mind.
Okay.
There's never a young version of him. I'll say 50.
Okay.
I'll say 60 then.
Man, you guys really have not seen this movie. No, he was 25 when he made this movie.
Ooh, he looks rough.
What? Yeah,
I mean, yeah, if you've only seen him as a champagne magnate.
I saw him in this movie.
His voice sounds so old.
Yeah. Do I get a point for that? I was closer.
Yeah.
No.
I think
no one gets a point for that. I don't feel like
he was
either
only
should get a point for that.
He was only double the age.
That's close.
No.
I'd give him the point.
Hey,
he beat me fair and square.
Either of those close to anything.
He sounds like a 60-year-old man.
I know, yeah, we heard the trailer. He sounds old.
He does a great job. He does a great job acting in this movie, and the makeup is even really good in this movie too. But yeah, he was young.
The movie is supposed to be old? The character?
It's his whole life. Yeah, it's his whole life. Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. Never mind, I knew that.
You didn't though. you specifically. All right. Hopefully, final question because we're still tied. Yeah. What is the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score in percentage just closest for Citizen Kane? For those who don't know, this is the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. So that you two do not influence each other, please text me your answer.
Okay.
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Can I just Zoom chat it?
Oh, yeah, that works too. Okay. We do have a winner. Neither of you got it exactly right, but CJ, do you want to say what you put?
I put 97.
Okay. And Steve?
I put 100.
Okay. Well, for once, Steve, you were just almost spot on the money is 99%.
Oh my God.
So that makes you our winner. Congratulations.
Woo!
This makes so much sense that I would win this one.
It
Because
would, because it's the only other movie you've seen, right?
I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Citizen Kane.
Absolutely.
And I've never guessed 100% and got it right. On any
I mean,
other
technically you
episode
did get it right, but
That's, I mean, yeah,
Well, that close. That's
Yeah.
pretty much right.
true.
But that's why it's one of my favorite movies.
same.
Absolutely. Just for fun, and I have no idea how you would even be able to figure this out, but what is the audience score of Rotten Tomatoes?
Probably 100.
I would say 100 too.
102?
No, 100 also.
Oh, okay. 90%.
Oh, okay.
They didn't really like it.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I mean, it's a little long. I assume that's why CJ chose to watch the Blackhawks instead of this, but
I don't know. My thing
CJ
had
actually
sleds
watched
and
it,
ice
though.
and yeah.
yeah. Well, I guess it's time for ratings. I don't know how this portion's going to work either, but all right, I'm going to go last for sure. Steve, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate? I mean, I guess Citizen Kane, but I will also take Ocean's 11.
I'll go ahead and do both.
Okay.
I think Citizen
sure.
Kane, from what I know, now that I know that Charles Kane and he missed sledding so much that it's all he talked about, I think that's kind of like a heartbreaking story. So that's like a 10. That's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Wow.
And I think Ocean's 11, which was my original Citizen Kane, now makes more sense to me because there's no references to Rosebud or Citizen Kane or anything. And before that was a 10 for me because I thought it was Citizen Kane, but now it's still a 10 because I have a newfound appreciation for a different movie.
Wow.
Nice. Wow. Okay. I feel like we should have you back on and maybe we'll watch what you had watched and we can do a proper assessment of that.
That was the goal. I didn't try to come into this goofing around. I'm embarrassed. I thought you guys were pranking me. But it wasn't a prank on my side or your side.
No, definitely not my side.
So here we are.
Yeah. He was a very serious person. I'm sure he didn't mean to do this.
Of course.
Yeah.
CJ, rate something.
Well, for me, this is capital C cinema. You've got all of the Kanes. There's like 20 of them, so that gets it a whole bunch of points. It's got
Capital
sledding.
C for Kane, right? Not Citizen?
Yeah.
It's Citizen Kane.
It's with the
C-A-N-E.
It's a K.
Citizen's not spelled with a K.
No, it's C-C-K. Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong.
Oh.
C-K.
Okay.
Citizen K.
Kong.
It's a 10.
No.
It's the best movie ever.
This cannot make the year-end list because you two don't know what you're talking
Listen,
about.
none of the other movies I talk about ever make that list, which is a travesty, by the way.
We get
But
voicemails because of that.
At least this one can come up. Yeah, Wayne Knight's gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll allow it with an asterisk.
That's
For
good.
me,
That's all I ask.
I also watched Citizen Kane.
Yeah, we
Definitely
know.
watched the whole movie
yelly.
and definitely
Yeah.
didn't skip the
Why are you
last 20
saying
minutes.
that? We all watched it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Man, we didn't talk about this movie at all. I just feel so weird. I've seen this movie before. We watched it here. I watched it as part of a film class in college,
Brag.
and it
Okay.
felt just as long as the last time I watched it. But
It was 2 hours?
it was 2 hours long. Yeah.
That's
For a
like a normal
1941 movie.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of crazy. But, I mean, it's still a good movie. But I don't know. No one listening to this cares anymore. So I'll give it a 10.
Oh, yeah. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen.
Wow. We did it.
Oh, my God. I think we've really redeemed this.
Yeah.
It really started off not great. Like, we were all on different pages here, but I think we all kind of came together at the end. And that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah. Coming together.
Yeah.
For a single purpose.
Coming.
Soon or together.
Yeah.
It doesn't, yeah. Okay. Well, Steve, thank you for joining us, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you're
guess
welcome.
next time it's either going to be Better Luck Tomorrow or Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12, or I don't know, but
Yeah, I need some time to kind of figure out, I guess, my life.
just
Your
tip
whole
stock.
deal.
Because I've been just lying to people for years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll reach back out, but, like, I don't know. Like, this is going to take me a while to kind of, like, figure out what's going on.
Okay.
That's fair. You should.
The Fast and Furious movies were real, right?
Yeah, all documentaries.
You weren't just humoring me for those.
CJ and I haven't actually seen any of them.
I just read the wiki ahead of time.
Yeah, we just read the wiki and form different opinions about each movie.
Wildly different.
I mean, you do it well. You fooled me.
Yeah, we're professionals at this. We're doing it so
Talk at length about
Yeah.
it, but it's all from the wiki. Yeah.
I want to see the multiverse Doms, but of course all of them will be like 6'4", and no matter what universe,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all very tall.
Oh yeah, I read he was pretty short. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very visual medium.
Hey, actually, because we mentioned friend of the show, actor Wayne Knight, I want to plug next week's episode. We're doing Jurassic Park, featuring him.
Oh.
Hopefully we get an email from him that time, too.
He's going to be the guest?
No, he won't be the guest, but,
Oh,
maybe.
that's a good time for another email from him, I think.
Yeah, sure hope so.
I hope he says Dino, DNA, even though I don't think he says that in the movie.
I mean, I've
That's my
never seen
favorite
it.
part. That's my favorite part.
Yes.
No, you
Steve would
wouldn't
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might start watching other movies, maybe.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Oh.
Everything's been flipped on its head, and I have no idea what's going on. So maybe I'll just start watching movies like a regular person now.
I mean, I think I speak for both of us, Ken, and say that, like, we recommend it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you guys watch a bunch of crap. Like, half
Yeah,
the stuff that
that's
you guys
fair.
watch is a bunch of crap.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Yes, that is true. Might I suggest Citizen Kane? I don't know.
But I
well,
don't know.
now I know what happens.
Yeah, you spoiled it for him. So now
You
he
knew
doesn't
before we even knew we were talking about this movie. It's okay.
I knew rosebud was a word. I didn't know what it was.
Everyone knows that.
You knew it was a word with prompted downhill snowy. Yeah,
Well, I didn't put those together until now, but
I mean, I guess that's
yeah, I knew it was a
where
word.
rosebuds pop up. So I
Yeah.
get it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not worth it now, Steve. Don't bother.
also, what kind of
No.
dumb name is that for a sled?
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
it's not made out of
know.
roses.
Yeah. What color was the sled? Black and white?
Wood color.
It was black and white.
It was black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing that should have got me thinking that was the wrong movie. The one I watched was in full color.
Okay. Yeah. And
Advanced
maybe it
technology
looked like it was
for-
from 1941.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was just like remastered in HD or something.
Sure.
They are doing that. Yeah, nice crisp
I love
4K.
when they remaster something, put in cell phones, and it's great.
Yeah. Well, Fast and
Casinos.
Furious does that.
Well, you can follow us on all the things at Overtalking Podcast.
God.
Call or text us at USACat1591. Email us like actor Wayne Knight did at overtalkingpod@gmail.com, and we will read it on the show.
Oh no, they're here. The Overtalking Overlords have arrived. They are, of course, our ghastly, otherworldly landlords. They've just entered my room, and they're just slowly shaking their heads. They seem disappointed. They must be big Citizen Kane fans. I don't know.
I mean, they're certainly old enough.
Oh yeah. Are you guys even citizens? They're still slowly shaking their heads.
Great question.
Huh. They're here to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts and rate and review. Reviews would help people find this podcast. Oh, my God. And we spend no money in advertising, so if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you to our sponsor for this episode, Magic Mind. Go to magicmind.com/overtalking. Use code overtalking20.
Ken, I have an update regarding reviews. You can now rate us on Spotify.
Ah, there we go. Okay,
but
do that too.
You have to do it on your phone. They don't allow it on the desktop version for some reason.
Yeah, that's typical Spotify.
So you can rate us on Spotify as well. Please do.
If you've rated us before, go on Spotify and do it too.
Yeah.
And give us 5 stars, regardless of the review that you put in there. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't think you can write reviews, but it is just a star system.
Okay, then the 5 stars will
Yeah.
suffice.
Yes.
Yes.
Give us those stars.
Steve, you got anything to plug at the end here? Any words of wisdom?
I guess do your homework before you get on a podcast and make an idiot of yourself. If you're going to watch a movie, make sure you know what movie you watched. And don't go lying to people for 15, 20 years of your life. Those are all the things I have to plug.
Relatable content for me.
Yeah.
And then, snow tires and stuff, too. You know that. I got to go watch Fast and Furious or something to just get this out of my head.
Clean the palate.
Yeah.
And as we always say at the end of every episode, Rosebud. Bye.
Bye.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ, edited by CJ. This week's special guest was Citizen Steve. Music by Justin Peters. Logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.